Greetings everyone! Time for another update video. This time I'm letting you know what's going on for the summer of 2022, at least the early part of the summer. First thing to note is, I've completed my goal of filling in my Archie Sonic review playlist from issue 1 to issue 26. Now, I'm going to take a break from reviewing Archie Sonic comics for a while, but when I do return, my first review will be the Princess Sally miniseries. So yeah, don't expect any Archie Sonic during the month of June. I need the time to focus on my Mega Man Journey project. If you're wondering how that's going, I'm mostly done editing the Mega Man 1 material, and it's clocked in at about 28 minutes. As my gift to you, here's a little sample. Mega Man 1, or Mega Man as it was known when it came out in 1987, was mainly designed to be a game specific to home consoles. At that point in time, the company, Capcom, was focused on arcades, whether it's making new game machines or porting them to consoles. The team tasked to create Mega Man consisted of 6 individuals, one of them being Keiji Inafune. For those who don't know, he's often been labeled as the quote-unquote father of Mega Man in various outlets. He was not. He joined the team while development was well underway. He would, however, become the franchise's shepherd until he left Capcom in 2010. Now, Inafune did design nearly all of the game's characters and enemies, the only exceptions being Dr. Light and Roll, with Robot Masters Cutman, Iceman, Fireman, and Gutsman being designed by other people. If you're wondering, Inafune's first contribution would be the Robot Master Electman. Even the titular hero was being designed when Inafune joined, though he did help with the finishing touches by drawing inspiration from the Astro Boy manga. You can definitely see that inspiration in the end credits. Mega Man was given his blue colors due to the NES, or rather the Japanese counterpart the Famicom, having the most shades of that specific color in the machine's palette. As for the character's name, several ideas were thrown around like Mighty Kid or Rainbow Man. I'll explain the second one in a moment. Ultimately, they decided on the name Rockman, after the musical genre rock and roll. The second part would become his sister's name. The series would go on to embrace the whole musical naming motif. When the game was brought over to America, Capcom Senior Vice President at the time, Joseph Morikai, I think that's how you say his name, changed the hero's name from Rockman to Mega Man. You know, as much as Rockman works with the musical naming motif, the name Mega Man does fit our hero better. He's a jack of all trades, as you'll see, having the ability to do many things. That's not the only difference the game experienced between regions. The game was successful enough in Japan to be localized in the first place, and when it was time to create the box art, instead of using the anime designs of the characters for the North American version, they quickly commissioned what would become one of the worst box arts of all time. Personal story time. This is not my first Mega Man game. I'll let you know what it is later on, but when I decided to check out the earlier games, and I looked at that cover for the first one, I was like, wait, is this even the same series? He looks like a man in a blue and yellow jumpsuit holding a gun instead of the cartoon boy with an arm cannon. No wonder bad box art Mega Man, as he would later be known as, would become the butt of many jokes throughout the years. I would tell you how the developers designed the game, but it would be easier to explain it as I play through it. So let's go ahead and pop this baby in. The game starts with practically no fanfare. That's how it was back in the day. Sometimes the game would explain what's going on through text, but if you want to dig a little deeper, you would have to go to the game's manual. While I don't have the original NES manual, the Mega Man Anniversary Collection manual has faithfully reprinted the story from the NES booklet. Let's see what the story says and okay. Mega Man 1, the Mega Man story. It's Mega Man versus the powerful leaders and fighting forces of Monsteropolis, that strange, multifaceted land of robot-like humanoids. Brilliant scientist Dr. Light conceived the construction of fully operational human-like experimental robots to perform specific everyday duties. Dr. Light and his assistant Dr. Wily, encouraged by their very first human robot Mega Man, proceeded to develop 6 additional humanoids, all programmed to perform prescribed rituals. But, with the exception of Mega Man, all of Dr. Light's near-human robot experimentation went awry. Assistant Dr. Wily turned disloyal, reprogramming Dr. Light's humanoids, now bent on destroying opposition so Dr. Wily can control the world and its resources. Resisting reprogramming, Mega Man is chosen as the defender of the universe and its inhabitants. Mega Man dares to single-handedly penetrate 7 separate empires of Monsteropolis, eliminating the leaders and followers of these sovereignties. Get ready for some very exciting challenges. Capcom localization, everyone. And what you just heard is the fixed version. In the original version, Dr. Light's name is spelled as Dr. Wright, with a W. It's a Japanese language thing with the L's and the R's. Anyway, enough of this fanfic, here's the real story. Going back to Electman stage for a bit, during your climb, you may have noticed this blue object behind some oddly shaped blocks. And for some reason I can't get it. Come on, I want it. Well, let me get it. Well, guess what? We can't get it right now because we don't have the right weapon. Upon defeating Gutsman, we get his weapon, Super Arm. It's very limited as it's only used to pick up those weird looking blocks seen throughout the stages. Now those blocks can be used against enemies, and the ability is the weakness of Cutman. That's why there are 2 blocks in his boss room. If Super Arm's used correctly, those 2 blocks are all we need. Now we can return to Electman stage and get that blue item, which in my opinion is one of the best items in the game, the Magnet Beam. It allows Mega Man to create temporary platforms for him to jump on, which is useful for bypassing some platforming obstacles. Just make sure you're not on it when it disappears or down you go. And it's required to beat the game. You'll see why later. You climb a ladder and reach what seems like an impassable section. This is why the Magnet Beam is required. You're expected to use it to make platforms in order to reach the ladder on the other side. If you so happen to run out of energy, you can return to the previous room below and refill it using the weapon energy. And it respawns every time you return to that room. However, if for some reason you did not pick up Magnet Beam before heading to the Wily stages, you're screwed. Unless you kill yourself, get a game over, and choose stage select, so you have another chance to go to the Electman stage and get the Magnet Beam. Thankfully, the only required Magnet Beam section is in Wily Stage 1. I hope you liked it, and that's what I'll be working on throughout June. If you're wondering about IDW Sonic issue 50, right now it is scheduled to be released June 22nd, and when it does come out, I will switch over to it ASAP. Though rumor is it might be delayed until June 29th, and that's because they need to work on the art. To be fair, it is a massive milestone issue, and I'll give them a pass for this delay. Either way, with the issue said to be double length, that review will take a while. Don't worry, the channel won't be devoid of content for June. I'll probably upload another IDW Sonic Mega Collection, this time consisting of the Bad Guys miniseries and issues 33 through 44. Finally, before I sign off, I'm letting you know that this channel is just about to reach 10,000 subscribers, if it hasn't already. As I said, if I reach this goal, I'll do a long video retrospective on the Sonic trilogy, yes, I'm calling it that, on the Sega Genesis. Though I may go ahead and expand on it to include Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and the Genesis add-on games like Sonic CD and Knuckles Chaotix. Again, this will be done after the first Mega Man Journey video, which is still a ways off. Anyway, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you for coming to my channel. To this day, I'm still amazed many of you would watch a small-time YouTuber talk about comics and other materials featuring blue video game characters. So here's to many more years, and have a good day everyone.